Good morning, good morning. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We're getting back into it. Bajillion. We did some work yesterday. But one thing I forgot to fix yesterday, oh my god, what was it? Oh, the thermos. Remember I said that I was gonna have Jacob sipping on something, a drink, in the beginning of the story. I didn't do that yesterday. It's tedious. It's tedious. I have to do that now. I have to at least put a note. I have to say something. So I got to go all the way to the top again, y'all. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go back to the top. We're going to take it back to the top. This is page 8. So we're going back to the very beginning. And I got to remember. So I'm sipping on coffee. I got my water. Number one dad cup. I got another Bob Marley. If y'all didn't notice by now, I got another. I'm a Bob Marley fan. Bob, gong. Big gong. Not Jimmy Gong, but gong. I have a picture of Bob Marley hanging right there on the wall. One of these days I'll turn the camera around and show you. Courtesy of my auntie. She gave me that picture a while ago. Anyways, let me take a sip of water here. Okay, so let me see where I can put this in. The occasional, let's see, but hopefully things wouldn't be like the last time when too many fish too small, or the occasional turtle took the worm. Why did I don't have a note here, so why is that? Maybe it'll come to me. I'll leave it there for now. Boy, it sure is hot. Okay, this is a perfect spot. This is a perfect spot to put it right here. Boy, it sure is hot. You feel like the sun done moved down here closer to us, or whatever them scientists say. Oh no, that's Henry saying that. Yep, I feel it, but it don't hurt because I'm strong. Because I'm strong. And let me see. And my thermos. Now, people might. How do you spell thermos? Thermos. Thermos. And my thermos is keeping my let's see, my thermos is keeping my super juice. I don't know. Super juice. Nice and cool. Said little Jacob before taking a sip of Kool-Aid. I don't know. Taking a sip before taking a sip from this. Okay, let me see. Let me take a sip of something warm. So we'll leave that there. We'll leave that there for now because we gotta get going. But now, here's another warm morning in Greenpond, a small town with only a handful of stop signs and one blinking light. The charming little settlement sat approximately 13 miles north of Walterboro, South Carolina. What little coolness that had been left behind by the night had all but faded away. And as the fog dissipated by the rising sun, the bajillion-day dwellers of a forest were awakening to a new crisp morning. Somewhere in the lush green woods, as a father and son walked down a beaten path, fishing lines hooked and tangled with branches and spider webs were constantly being brushed away. Somewhere in the lush green woods, as a father and son walked down a beaten path. That should be a comma. Somewhere in the lush green woods, as a father and son walked down a beaten path. Fishing lines hooked and tangled with branches, and spider webs were constantly being brushed away. Eyes were looking up and down for creepy crawlers as they continued to the fishing hole. Alright, so I'm gonna just leave it right there for now because I have a thermos that he sipped on, and I gotta remember to put a little more detail in here later. Maybe not. Yep, I feel it, but it don't hurt because I'm strong, and my thermos is keeping my super juice. It's keeping my super juice nice and cool, said little Jacob before taking a sip. Okay. All right, so that's page 2. So we brought it up. No, that's page 1, right? Yeah, that's page. What page is that? Oh, this is page 1. So yeah, that's page 2. So we spoke about the thermos and him taking a sip early on. That's there. Okay. We'll speak about it again here in a little bit. Okay, so hey, what are you staring at? Someone asked. Daddy. Oh, I gotta put hey, and then that should be a Y. Hey, that's hey, right? Hey. Hey, what are you staring at? Someone asked. Daddy, hey, Dad. Huh? Oh, nothing. Just nothing, the man replied after coming back to reality. Now be careful with that bucket and rod. So they don't brush up against the bushes. Just try to be quiet, said Henry. Now be quiet. Now let me see. Now be careful with that. Excuse me. Hey, what are you staring at? Someone asked. Daddy, hey, Dad. Huh? Oh, nothing, just nothing. The man replied after coming back to reality. Now be careful with that bucket and rod so they don't brush up against the bushes. just try to be quiet, said Henry. Just try to be quiet. I'm trying to see if I can put the thermos in here again, because I wanna kind of like drive that home. I want the reader to know that, okay, something's going on with the thermos. Okay. I don't want to force it though. I don't want to force it. I want it to flow, and I want it to like kind of stick to the subconscious mind, but not really stand out so much to where you put all your attention on the thermos. Because if that was the case, then that would be like a fake move, like in football when you go one way and then when you move to the other, like you fake right and you move left, or basketball. So sometimes writers do that. They mislead you on purpose, but they do it in such a clever way that you don't realize it. So you take the bait. Meanwhile, the real thing that you're supposed to be paying attention to, you're not really paying attention to. So when it hits you, it really hits you. That could be something really sad. That could be something really funny. That could be something just something that you wasn't aware of, that was building while you were reading the story. So I want to make it so it's I want to mention it, but I don't want to make it so apparent that you automatically latch onto it and try to put all your focus into that, because that's how people that's how you figure out what's going on in the story. Where I guess a not so good writer would do something like that on purpose. Not on purpose, but he or she would try to attempt to mislead you, but at the same time they're just giving you what they think they're hiding from you, but they're really just giving it to you anyways. It's hard to explain. Okay. Hey, what are you staring at? Someone asked. Daddy, hey, Dad. Huh? Oh, nothing, just nothing, the man replied after coming back to reality. Now be careful with that. Okay, so now be careful with that doggone thermos. With that doggone thermos and bucket. Now be careful with that thermos and bucket. With that doggone thermos, with that big old thermos and bucket. Making all of that doggone noise. Now be careful with that big old thermos and bucket, making all that doggone noise, making all that doggone noise. Just try to be quiet. Sitting. Okay. So I just sprinkled that in there a little bit, but it could use some touching up, but as you can see, I just sprinkled it in there. So the thermos is back. The thermos is on page 2 and 8. Thermos. Some stuff in that thermos. Excuse me. We'll come back to the thermos. Shortly after continuing on through the thick green wall of vegetation, the son carefully following behind his father, Henry gave... Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'm back. I just had to sneeze. I had a little sneezing fit there. Hopefully that's gone. Y'all can say bless me though. I'll take it. Thank you. Boy. Okay, sure. That was a sneeze. I gotta pause it again. Oh my God! Don't you just hate when you gotta sneeze but it won't come out? I tried to sneeze again and it just anyways, it may come out. Anyways, shortly after continuing on through now the sneezes, so something is crazy is going on because every time I try to read, I start sneezing. Oh man, please stop. Every time I try to read, I start sneezing. Alright, let me get some tissue. Okay, I think I'm good. Shortly after continuing on through the thick green wall of vegetation, the son carefully following behind his father, Henry gave young Jacob the sign to stop. Turning to face his son, the man whispered, "Gator in the pond." He pointed to a section next to the path they were on. Next to the path. He pointed to a section next to the path they were on. The ground showed a fresh trail of mud. The grass is pushed down and still wet from the heavy body of whatever aquatic animal they had gone across. It had been the same spot Suge said he'd seen a young alligator sunbathing the week prior. Going to one knee, the man signaled for his son to stop. The man signaled for his son to come closer. "But Daddy, if the trail is wet still, wouldn't that mean that the gator is out of the pond?" asked the boy. The father smiled at his son. You know what? Let me try something else. This is probably not going to do anything. If I can find them. I got some glasses, y'all. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, so I have on these glasses, and supposedly they're for the glare from the screen. Y'all can't see my monitor. My monitor is like huge. It's really big. You can see, like, it's a television. You know, I have my computer hooked up to a television because I want to be able to see the words, and I have the words blown up to 150%. But these glasses are not like reading glasses or prescription glasses. These are like for the glare. I mean, maybe like mentally they'll help me out. I don't know, but y'all know I have issues, so we're gonna keep reading. And shout out to my son Dante. He bought these for me on one Christmas, I think, maybe 2 years ago, and I never use them. I never ever use them. So. I'm waking up now. Okay. Excuse me. The father smiled at his son as a feeling of pride came over him that only a father could know. Jacob was a straight A student whose biggest issue in school was being a disturbing element. Is what the note had said. Is what the note had read. Is what the note read. Is what the note had read. Is what the note had said. Is what the note had said. Next to the other words from Mrs. Hughes, Jacob's science teacher requesting a meeting with the parents. The father smiled at his son as a feeling of pride came over him that only a father could know. Jacob was a straight A student whose biggest issue in school was being a disturbing element. Is what the note had read. Is what the note said. Is what the note said. Next to the other words from Mrs. Hughes, Jacob's science teacher, requesting a meeting with the parents. Throughout the school year, he'd often get letters sent home by agitated teachers complimenting the parents on a job well done, but also complaining about how the boy insisted on asking questions that came at various times and long after. Excuse me. And sometimes long after the lesson had changed. Mainly the issue was that the questions went too in-depth. Why is the word too? Let's see. I'm going to ignore this, but I'm also going to check out. I thought TOO was right. Yeah, excessively. Yeah, that's the word. TOO. Overly, extremely, exceedingly, very, over much. Yeah, that's the word. So I'm gonna ignore that. The issue was that the questions went too in depth, and more than once he'd called a teacher out on a contradiction, like when Mrs. Hughes wore a gold cross around her neck. I don't have to say around her neck. Where else are you gonna wear a gold cross? Or taught so passionately about how man came from monkeys and how the universe was formed by some huge random explosion. Coincidentally, the fishing trip they'd finally gotten around to had been postponed due to an incident that occurred just before. Coincidentally, the fishing trip they'd finally gotten around to had been postponed. Had been previously postponed. Coincidentally, the fishing trip they'd finally gotten around to had been postponed due to an incident that occurred. Okay. Just before school ended for summer break. Wait a minute. I think it's October, so that's not summer break. Postponed due to an incident that occurred. Okay, that's cool. He'd been placed on punishment after his parents had to meet with his teacher and the school principal after Jacob asked publicly if she believed in Jesus. Let's say Jesus Christ, just to put a little bit more on there, because his mom might be super religious. He might be in church every Wednesday and every Sunday. Yes, you do have a point, son, but if you stop overthinking it, you'll see how I know she's back in the water, said Henry before pointing to a section surrounded by briars where a bundle of rubbery eggs were all grouped together. Daddy, those are... Yep. Alright. It's 24 minutes. How far? Where's the red at? It's 24 minutes. We're going to pick it back up in the green. I apologize for my tone this morning. Let me title this video. I'm really this is writing, y'all. This is real writing. This is the torture that writers go through. But I do have a title for this. Gator in the pond. We'll title this one But this is the torture that writers go through. And for me, I'm not a full-time writer yet, but I want to give it to you the way it is, the way my process goes. And I don't want to, I kind of started off trying to force it. I'm not trying to force it anymore, because what I'm doing is, name anybody else, name one other person that you see writing a book on YouTube, in real time. I mean, it may be some more people out there, but this is not an easy process. But at the same time, this is helping me with reading out loud. This is improving a lot of different skills, for a writer. And it's also giving you a little entertainment. I'm not getting a lot of views yet. Again, I gotta say yet. But once people catch on and see this in real time, I'm hoping for the best. The worst case scenario is that I get a book out of this deal. You know what I mean? The worst case scenario is that I get another book to put on my bookshelf behind me and to say, this is what I did. And especially this one. This story is 25 years old, like I told you. Around May of next year, it'll be 26 years old. So, around June of next year, it'll be 26 years old. So, like I said, worst case scenario, I have another book. And this will be in my archive of videos. So, I'm not worried about the views. Right now I'm averaging about 5 or 6 views per video, and that's fine. That's fine. But anyways, I don't know. Y'all think, how do y'all like the glasses? I think, maybe they help. I don't know. But I think I might be using them just for a mental thing. Like your mind is a very powerful thing. Now, I put these glasses on. If I start reading better with the glasses on, even though they're not medicated, these are not reader glasses. This is for the glare, because I'm getting the glare off the white light, and I'm getting the glare off the screen, and it's dark inside my office. So I do feel a sense of protection from my eyes. So hopefully, we'll see. I'll keep rocking them, and I think they look pretty decent too. They make me look smarter. Anyways, it's been 27 minutes, almost 28 minutes. So y'all tell me what you think about all this. This is Anthony L. Kelly. Till next time, salute to all y'all. Leave some comments too. I keep saying that, but nobody's leaving comments. Till next time, I'm out.